What is up, everyone? My name is Sagar and we are back here with another video. And this is the lecture number 11 of our Java and DSA course. So in our previous videos we saw the use cases of loops and also we learned about the syntax of for loop. So today we are gonna learn about while loop and also we are gonna see the difference between for loop and while loop. So without making any further ado, let's get started. So first let me create a new Java class here in my package lecture 11. So we already know how and why we have to use a loop, and we also learned about the syntax of for loop. While loop is nothing different. Same as in for loop, we have to write here three statements, that is initialization, second is a condition, and third is reinitialization. So let's get started with the syntax. Here we have to write our statement 1, that is initialization, and after that we have to write here while and these curly braces, and inside them we have to write statement 2, that is condition, and after that we have to open curly braces, and inside our for loop we have to write our statement 3 or anything that we want to repeat. So our statement 3 is reinitialization. So you can see here, same as in for loop, we are writing here statement 1, that is initialization, that will be executed only once. So that's why we are writing it outside of our while loop. And after that same second statement, that is a condition, we have to check it every time. That is why we are writing it inside of parentheses of while loop. And after that these curly braces, and our code goes here, and at the end we are writing here statement 3, that is reinitialization. So inside of our while loop, after we execute our code, we have to reinitialize our variable. We already know how to print numbers from 1 to 100 using a for loop. We have to initialize our variable with 1. So I will write here int I, or let's say I will write here num, that is 1. And after that we have a condition, that will be our number should be less than equal to 100. So after this while, and inside our parenthesis this condition, number should be less than and equal to 100, and after that these curly braces, and at every step we have to increase our number. First it is 1, then after initialization, before initializing we have to print that number. So first I will print it as out num. So first n will be printed, first it is 1, so we print 1 and then we increase it. So I have to increase it, num plus equal to 1, or we can use a unary operator, that is num plus plus. So first it is 1, then it will be printed, and after that it will be increased by 1. So then 2, then we print 2, and after that we increase it up to 100. And once it is 100, our condition is still true because num less than equal to 100. So when our number is 100, it is still true because we are checking number is also equal to 100. So this is true, so we will also print 100, and then after that we increase it. So our number will be 101. So once it is 101, then this condition is false. Then we came out of our for loop, and after this let's print end at and plus num. So I am writing it to show you that we are coming out of our while loop when we have 101. So let's print it. So you can see here 1 200, and after that end at 101. So you can see here a benefit that we are using this number after our while loop ends. But we can do that in our for loop. Like in our lecture 9, you can see here this I. Let me uncomment it. So you can see here we are initializing this I inside of our for loop. That means after for loop end, we can't use this I. Let me try it. You can see here I cannot resolve symbol I. But here in this case, when we are using a while loop, you can see here we are initializing this number inside of our main method. So you can use this number anywhere inside the main method, inside of our while loop and also outside of it. So basically this was the difference between our for loop and while loop. You can also try solving our previous video questions using a while loop. We did that using a for loop. So let me solve a question that is a sum of a series. Let's start with the very basic. We will find the sum of first n numbers, that is from 1 to some n. So suppose my n is 10 and my number will start from 1, and we will also create a variable that will store our sum, and it will be started from 0. So what will be our condition? Our condition is our number should be less than equal to n. So I will write here the same number is less than equal to n. Here n is our limit, that means our number is starting from 1 and we will be incrementing it every time. You can see here we are incrementing it, and at every step we have to add that number to our sum variable to find the sum of all numbers up to n. So I will just delete it and I will write here sum, that will store our sum of all numbers plus equal to number, and that is it. After that I will print here sum. So there are three variables. First is n, that is our limit. Previously we were taking that from user input, and after that this num, that was previously I. So we are just using here a num, and after that this sum which is storing sum of all numbers, and let's run this. So sum of first 10 numbers will be 55. So in this way you can solve previous question using a while loop. So now let's talk about the difference between using a for loop and a while loop. Its syntax is basically looking more easier to you than a for loop. There is no as such difference, but it depends on your use cases that either you have to use a for loop or a while loop. But let me tell you one thing, that you can use a for loop when we have a limit. Suppose let's say we are printing numbers from 1 to n. There we have n, that is a limit. So we can directly use a for loop. But suppose somehow we don't have any limit. For example, suppose we have to take user input until our input is -1. So we don't know here the limit. We will just keep taking the user input while our input is not -1. So let me write that thing. First I will create a scanner object. So here in this example, we don't have any limit. We will be just keep taking our user input while our number is not equal to -1. So let's run this. So this is a kind of infinite loop. Here I am giving the input 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can just keep taking that user input and this while loop never ends. But when I am entering -1, this program ends. You can see here program finished. So this was a small difference between a while loop and a for loop. You can also do this thing using a for loop, but there are some cases that can be only solved using a while loop. And after that, let me show you some cool things. Suppose you have a statement that can be a conditional statement, loop statement, or switch statement, and when you are using only one line of code inside of their block, so you can also write it as this. So this is also a valid syntax. You can see here there is no error. You don't need to write those braces if you have one line of code inside of them. So you can also do the same thing with conditional statement. Suppose I am writing here if n equals to -1, then you can write here print -1, and after this when you want to also write a else block, so you can write it as this. First you will enter here, so there will be an indentation, that means it will be 4 spaces ahead, 1 2 3 4, and after that we have that else block. Again press enter and then you can print anything. So here you also have one line of code, and that's why you don't need to use this curly braces. And after this, also let me tell you about some amazing keywords that we can use inside of our loops. So the first keyword is break. We are already using this keyword from our previous videos, but let me just show you an example. Suppose I have an example where we are inside an infinite while loop. So I will write here just while true. So this is an infinite while loop because this condition is always true. So we will just keep printing hello world, or let's say we can just print some number, that is a number, and we are incrementing that number every time. So let us take that number. So suppose it is 1. So first we will print 1 and after that we will increase it. So this is an infinite loop, and let's check it. So you can see here this is an infinite loop. But suppose at some step we have to break out of our loop. So I will use here this break keyword. Suppose I want to break when my number is 100. So if number equals to 100, that means when our number is 100, then we will break out of this loop. So I am also using here one liner. So our number will start from 1, and at every step first it will be printed, and after that it will be incremented by one step, and after that at every step this condition will be checked whether our number is equal to 100 or not, and once it is equal to 100 then we will break out of our infinite loop. So let's check it. So we will print 1 to 99, you can see here. So this is another method to break out of loops. And after that, now let us see another amazing keyword, and that is continue. First I will comment this. So suppose I have to print numbers from 1 to 100, that is the very basic example. But suppose I have to skip numbers from 40 to 50. So there can be two ways to do this. First is I will start one loop from 1 to 40, and then I will start another loop from 50 to 100. So there are basically two loops, but we can just do this in one loop using a continue keyword. Now continue means there is a certain condition that we don't want to execute inside of our loop. And in this example, we don't want to print our numbers from 40 to 50. So first I will start a while loop, and our numbers should be less than equal to 100. And after that at every step we have to increment our number, that is compulsory. So num plus plus, and before incrementing we have to print our numbers. So first I will print number, but here is a condition, we don't want to print our numbers from 40 to 50. So I will write here if number is greater than equal to 40, and this is logical and number is less than equal to 50. So greater than 40 and less than 50, we will continue. That means the code that is after this statement will not be executed. But there is a problem now, because when we are at 40, we are skipping it and we are not incrementing. So it is an infinite loop. So first we will print from 1 to 40, and after that it is an infinite loop. Let us check this. So you can see here it is printing from 1 to 39, and after that our program is still executing. You can see here, stop. So how can we do it? Now let me tell you another cool thing, that instead of using our reinitialization here, we can do it here. That means first it will check and after that it will be incremented. So this is also valid syntax, and let's check it. So you can see here we are printing up to 101, and you can also see here we are not printing numbers from 40 to 50. That means when we are here 39, we are skipping all numbers up to 50, and after that we are directly printing 51. So this was a cool thing about continue keyword. But here you can see we are starting from 2, because we are using here this unary operator, that is post increment. So first when our number is 1, we will check this condition. 1 is less than 100, so this is true, and after that we will increment our number. So after this our number will be 2, so we will print our number, and after that again we will check for 3 and so on. And once our number is 100, so it will check 100 is less than equal to 100. This is true. And after this line, our number is incremented. So it is 101 and it will still execute this block. So 101 will be also here. You can see. So this was just a cool thing that I wanted to show you. You can also use it as this. But that was not the solution of our problem. Instead, we can just do like this. So when our number is greater than 40 and less than 50, we have to still increment our number. And when it is not, we will do it like this. We will still increment. So this is one way. Let us check it. So we are starting from 1 and we are skipping numbers from 40 to 50. You can see here after 39 there is 51 and we are going up to 100. So this was one way to solve this. There are multiple ways to solve this problem. You can try different things by yourself. Now let me show you one super amazing thing, and that is debugging. Debugging simply means that you want to identify some problem in your program, or you have to go through step by step to find something in your program. So there is a very cool feature in this IntelliJ IDE that you can use a debug pointer. You can see here when I am clicking it here, there is a red circle and here is a red line. That means there is now a debug pointer. And now that means we will go step by step through our program and check everything in it. So first let me take some small example. Suppose our numbers should be less than equal to 10 and our condition will be, we will not print numbers from 4 to 8. So number is greater than 4 and less than equal to 8. So we will increase our number and continue, else we will just print it. So you can see here there is a debug option up right there, and also you can just right click here and you can also find this here. So let's click it. So I mark my debug pointer here to my while loop, and you can see here first number is 1, and also you can see here this SC is our scanner class object, and you can see here number equals to 1, and also you can see here. And after that you can use this button to move ahead, that is step over. After that you can see here our number is 1 and we are on second line, that is we are checking here the condition number is greater than equal to 4, that is false. You can also see here, and let's step over. So our condition was false, so we will skip this block and we will print our number, that is 1. And after that num plus plus, so first our number was 1 and after this line it will be incremented. So after this our number is 2 and also this condition is still true, so we will step over. And after that this condition is still false, so we will move ahead and print 2, and after that 3, and after that this condition is now true, so number is greater than equal to 4, this is true, and also number is less than 8. We will enter in this block and our number will be increased, and then we will continue. So you can see here we are using this continue keyword, and now that means we are skipping all the code that is after this block, so we will not print our number. And after that we are checking again this condition, so our number is still less than 10, so this condition is true and it will again skip, so number is now 6 and it is now 7. After that it is 8, so this is still true, so our number is now 9, so this second condition is now false, you can clearly see here. So debugging is very cool and easy here. Our number is now 9 and we will print it, and now it is 10, so we will again print, and you can see here our number is 11 and now this condition is false, so we will not enter in this block. Now our loop ends, and that is it. So you can see here this debugging is very cool and you can use it in your programs when there might be some error or some unexpected things. And I will be also using it in our upcoming videos so that you can have a clear understanding of some algorithms. And now it is time for practice problem. So today in task 11, this is a very easy task. You just have to implement previous questions using a while loop. I already solved all these questions using a for loop, so you just have to implement a while loop. In our lecture 10, you can see here this is our prime number, and after that this is Fibonacci series, and this is factorial. So you just have to solve all these three questions using a while loop. The whole program will be exact same. You just have to use a while loop instead of a for loop. So do share your answers in the comment section, and the first one to comment the answer will get a huge shout out in the upcoming video. So that is it for today everyone. If this video is helpful, go hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to share your views in the comment section. And I will see you in the next one.